going to get started in a seated meditation today. So as always, I recommend finding a towel or maybe a blanket. If you have a yoga block available to you, you can use that for a seated meditation. Whatever seated is comfortable for you today. Again, lots of options. You can take a seat on your knees, sitting on that proper yoga block. You could do crisscross, whatever feels right for you, legs straight out. But wherever you are, the hope, the intention, the recommendation is that you are able to find your seat bones, really anchoring down into the earth. At this point as well, go ahead and find a drishti point, a point of unmoving focus, and just allow your peripheral vision to go a little bit fuzzy. Maybe your eyelids get a little bit heavy, and we just begin to pay a little bit more attention to our breath. Focus in on our body, see what's happening right here, right now. I'm going to call it out. We mentioned before that I do have my furry assistant yoga teacher. Currently, he is snoozing on the couch right here, but sometimes he likes to make his presence known. Just like to give that little heads up in case we hear his voice. As we begin to anchor into the seated meditation, begin to send your inhales to the point of sensation. Maybe as you began to sink in to this posture, this position, you felt a little bit of sensation or a calling to one of your parts of your body, and allowing yourself to just send your breath there and to use your exhales to soothe, to calm, to release. Finding with every inhale, your vertebrae gets a little bit taller, your ribs expand slightly, your crown gets a little bit closer to the sky. And then keeping that lift as we exhale, our shoulders drop, our seat bones feel the sensation of gravity a little bit more. And everything that is touching the earth or engaged with gravity gets a little bit heavier. As we continue in this meditation, continue to let each inhale be a half a second longer and each exhale to be a second longer, as you begin to focus in on what your intention is for today. And the intention is something that we can shift from want into I intend. And for me personally, what I've been working on this week is the thought of anticipation. This time of year being early spring, still winter, but early spring, where we have some beautiful weather, but then also Mother Nature gives us these little checks where we get our random spring snowstorms where it's not quite time to be outside yet. It's not quite time for those flowers to grow. It's not quite time to enter into that area. And it's really, really easy to live in the future. It's really, really easy to think ahead, to move ahead, to anticipate. And all that does is it robs you from right here and right now. So my hope for you today on our mat for this next hour is to stay in this moment, to stay in our bodies, to stay in this breath, because in reality, that is the only reality. What we are experiencing in this millisecond, this moment, this breath, that is the only thing that matters. Our past is important. It's led us to where we are right here, right now, and the future hasn't happened yet. So just enjoy right here, right now, and flow with us in this practice today. That is my personal intention. But as always, if there's anything else that's calling to you that you need to rely on, let's take one final big, deep breath into that space. Breathing into your intention, your desire, your movement from I want to I intend. Breathing into this moment right here, right now. Anchoring that in as you exhale. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open or bring a little bit of focus back into that gaze. Let's begin to wake up our body a little bit. As you inhale, let your shoulders come up to your ears, and then let your shoulder blades squeeze on the backside of your body, and then you exhale, let them drop. Keep it going, your breath, big, slow, intentional movement. Some backwards moving shoulder rolls, just finding that space in our ribs, in our spine, in our upper torso. Now let's go the opposite direction. Maybe some chicken wings in here as you bring your arms forward, letting yourself find that nice, easy movement. Maybe some neck rolls are calling to you. Let's find organic movements with our upper torso, being really sweet and gentle. If you find a space, especially as we're moving through our neck, maybe you find an area that's calling out to you, needs a little bit more focus. Give it a couple breaths, give it a beat here. Breathe into that space. Use those exhales to relieve it, and then come on back to those gentle movements. Once you feel balanced, once you feel engaged, go ahead, roll over those knees, sweep those ankles out to the side. We're moving into our tabletop position. You can move those props out of the way, and then continue those organic movements. Again, staying in this moment, staying in this here, this now, finding this opportunity to just key into that sensation. What is our body craving? Giving yourself the opportunity, and maybe that's stillness. Maybe it's allowing yourself to just breathe here in this tabletop, sending your inhales to where they need to go. Maybe it's hip circles or tail wags, child's pose variations, even some wrist relief. You can flip your fingers back towards your knees, giving yourself a nice little stretch. And then once you feel balanced, once you've given each side the same amount of love, you can go ahead and move into that traditional tabletop, anchoring us into this moment right here, right now. Breath is going to be so important today. It's going to be our key into the sensation. So let's connect breath with body with some cat-cows. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, just sending those inhales to fill up that low belly. Let the belly be soft. And then as you exhale, press the mat away, coil that belly up and in. Use that opportunity as almost like a vacuum to open up that low spine, mid spine, upper spine. 2 more, your breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, feeling the sensation of this moment, feeling this presence of our breath. And then as you exhale, finding that same amount of sensation, that same amount of awareness on the back side of the body. What awareness can letting your oxygen go bring? 1 more big breath. And then exhale, find that open sensation on the back side of the body. Next inhale, come back through midline, walk those palms forward, a palm width distance, and step those toes back. We're coming into our plank pose really early on in class. So just test it out here, see where we are. Maybe this feels awesome. Maybe this is a little bit fatiguing. All are perfect. Just stay with it. Puff up through the back of the heart space. Engage your quads, engage your glutes. Feel the power of this posture really early on in class. And then on an exhale, we're coming all the way to belly. You can travel through plank or through knees. Let your elbows graze those ribs as you come down towards that belly. Once you're there, top to your toes, press down into the mat. Really feel that connection. Another anchor for here and now, feeling gravity. Feel those points on the earth. Press those toes in so much so that the knees lift up and off the earth. Now engage those quads, the glutes. Feel that low spine activate. 10 to 20% of your weight in your hands as you inhale. Come up into our cobra pose. And then exhale, let that forehead come to the mat. Another anchor, feel the sensation. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, low body, mid body, upper torso. Exhale, release. Do 1 more. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, release. Curl those toes under if they're not there already on our next inhale breath. Pressing it up through plank or tabletop. Let our hips lift high and back. First official downward facing dog. Arrive here. Find some gentle organic movement. Wiggle wobble it out. Maybe that means wagging your tail, pedaling your feet. Even taking a really deep bend in your knees. So much so that they're 2 or 3 inches off the earth. Press into every single one of those fingertips and then allow those hips to lift high to the sky. finding this sensation here, finding this opportunity to arrive into this present moment of down dog. It's a familiar posture, but every time we enter, it's a different story. So give it the focus right here, right now. We're gonna find some nice breath to body movement, some connection. We're gonna kick up the heat a little bit. But again, my invitation to you is just enjoy every beat, every second, every movement. On your inhale breath, come high onto your tippy toes. Lift those hips really high to the sky. And then as you exhale, let those heels get heavy. Just feel the sensation, anchoring it into this posture. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, let those heels get heavy. On your inhale, come high onto your tippy toes. Look at the space between your hands and roll it forward first into our plank pose, and then drop down to our knees into our tabletop. Setting up here, finding that connection, all four corners. Press your fingertips equally into the earth. Feel both knees connected with this present moment. And now engage your core, puff up through the back of the heart space, kind of right in the middle of cat and cow. And then on your inhale breath, let your right leg kick back in space. Engage your glutes, engage your hamstrings. Find that nice connection. And then as you exhale, let it come out to the side. So we're looking at our right toes. Drop those right feet down towards the earth. And then we're going to stand it tall. So really press in with those right toes on the earth. Left knee is anchoring in. Fingertips are high. As you inhale, reach those fingertips up. As you exhale, baby back bend. Open up through that heart space. Inhale, reach it tall. Now we're going to lean over towards that right hand side. Little side bend, waking up our spine, moving our spine in all directions. Gaze can go down towards those right toes. Inhale, come up through midline. Little counter stretch. Left hand comes down to the earth, or a prop if you have it. Reach that right hand up and over. Inhale, come up through midline. Exhale, hands come back down towards the earth. Engage that right leg high, kick it back, and then tabletop. Do one round of cat-cow to reset. Recognize right versus left hand side. See how it feels different here. As you exhale, coil through the back end of the body. Moving into second side. First, starting off with that nice stable tabletop. Grip the mat with all of your 10 fingers, pressing down into the earth. Puff up through the back of the heart space. Now equally feel both knees pressing into the earth. Feel that connection with our core right in between cat and cow. And now kick that left leg back. Finding that same connection, that same balance. We're not dumping into our right side. We're staying nice and engaged. Now kick that left foot out to the side and drop it down to the earth. Connecting those left toes towards the earth, that pinky knife edge. And then on an inhale, sit it tall. Moving our spine in all directions. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, reach it tall. Moving towards the left hand side. As you exhale, hand comes down to brace, reaching up and over, opening up through that left side body. Inhale, come back through midline. Exhale, that right hand down to a prop or down towards the earth, reaching that left hand up and over. Inhale, use your obliques, come up through midline, and then exhale, hands come back down towards the earth. Activate through that left leg, then kick it back, coming back to our tabletop posture. Round a cat-cow to reset. We're balanced now. Feel that connection. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, press it away, coil it in. Inhale, breath. Come back through neutral tabletop. Walk those palms forward slightly. Kick those feet back. Starting off in plank. We're coming all the way to belly. You can travel through knees or through plank. Elbows graze those ribs. Now tops your toes, press down. Feel that connection, that anchor to this present moment. Engage those quads, those glutes, that low spine. Just one cobra pose. Make it count. Inhale, breathe that heart up and through. Exhale, release. On our next inhale breath, press it up through plank or tabletop, and then let your hips lift high and back, downward facing dog. Just one reset breath here, seeing how the sensation is a little different, seeing how the sensation is anchoring us right here. Try and not escape. Don't worry about what's next. Don't worry about what's after this class. Right here in this moment. On your next inhale breath, let that right leg lift high to the sky. Reach it tall. Feel the expansion throughout that entire right side of your body. Energy shooting out of your right toes. And then as you exhale, coil that knee into your belly, into your chest. We're looking at our right thumb. Gently step it through. And then we're going to drop down back to that left knee. Always an opportunity to find your towel or some extra cushion if you need under that left knee. On our inhale breath, sweep those hands tall, coming into our low crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, our hands are going to find a single fist at the base of our spine. So we're finding a nice clasp here. Inhale breath, let that single fist get heavy, open up through that heart space as much as you can. Deep bend in the elbows is totally allowable. Just let that heart open up as your gaze goes tall. And then exhale, open up through that back hamstring. Lean further into that right lunge. Inhale, come back through neutral, release through that heart opener. Exhale, heart opener, opening up through that hamstring, that heart, that entire front side of our body. Inhale, come back through midline. Whew, that has a lot of heat to it. One more. Exhale, lean in, open up through that heart, gaze goes high. Inhale, come back through midline, release those hands through low spine, let those hands reach tall. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Activate through that back leg. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Now take your time, coming all the way to belly, through plank or through knees. Elbows graze those ribs. Tops of your toes press into the mat. Activate through those legs. Low spine. Inhale, breath. Open up through that heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it up, plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Now, really important, the stage right between sides. Try and not anticipate what's next. There's a good chance you know where we're going, but just try and enjoy the sensation right here, right now. How does right feel different than left? Feel those toes pressing into the mat, the fingers gripping the mat, all the things that anchor us right here. Find a breath into that space. Soften something on that exhale. On our next inhale breath, let that left leg reach high to the sky. Reach it tall, expanding all the way out through those left toes. And then exhale, knee to belly, knee to chest. We're looking at our left thumb. Gently step it through, dropping down to that right knee. Opportunity to find a cushion underneath that knee if you need to. Inhale, sweep those hands tall, low crescent lunge. Now find the opposite grip. As you exhale, hands come down to that single fist at the base of our spine. Opposite thumb on top, opposite pinky on top. It's probably the one that feels a little bit funny. Inhale, breath. Let that single fist get heavy. Exhale, lean into that left lunge, opening up through that right hip flexor. Inhale, come out slightly. Exhale, expand, open up. Feel the heat, feel the presence, feel what you need right here. Inhale, come back through mid. We've got one more. Exhale, open up through that heart space. Inhale, come back through mid. Release those hands through low spine. Sweep them tall. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Activate through that right knee. Inhale, step it back. Left leg into our plank. Feel that balance, feel the connection, feel all this presence right here, right now. And then exhale through plank or knees, come all the way to belly. Top of your toes first. Activate your quads, feel that low spine engaged. Inhale, breath, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. Inhale, breath, press it up, plank or tabletop. And then let those hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. So we've worked on core balance. We've worked on one side versus the other. Let's bring some real balance into it. Inhale, come high onto your tippy toes, reach those hips high. Look at that space between your thumbs and take 10 tiny steps to arrive at the top of your mat. Once you're there, let your head hang heavy. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, releasing all tension in our spine, gentle bend in those knees. And then on an inhale breath, press into those shins, elongate through the spine, just like we did during the opening. Feel your ribs get further apart, your spine get further apart. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale into that fold. Maybe top of head is a little bit closer to the earth now. And then on an inhale breath, sweep those hands up and around, stand it tall, mountain pose. Exhale, cactus those arms, baby back bend. Inhale breath, stand it tall, mountain pose. And then exhale, hands come down to heart center. We're feeling balance here. So feel all four corners of your feet pressing down into the mat. We're gonna start with left leg anchored, right leg can kickstand. Nice gentle bend in our knees. We're not stacking our joints, we're using our muscles here. And then on an inhale breath, let that right knee come up in line with right hip. Feel those roots growing down through left feet. Find your drishti point, your point of unmoving energy. Drill into that space. You can stay here, pressing into palms, using your chest as balance, or you can sweep those hands tall, testing the balance out here in full staff pose. Wherever you are, pull your toes back towards your nose. Find your drishti point. If you fall out, just come back in. We're here for 3, 2, and on 1. Go ahead, drop that right foot down. Hands come back to heart center if they're not already there. Organic movement, balance it out, whatever it is you need. And now find that connection with the earth, all four corners, pressing down into the mat. Kickstand through that left leg. Keep a nice gentle bend in that right knee. Find your drishti point, your drill of focus, your energy, unmoving. And then on your inhale breath, let those left knees come up in line with left hip. Keep those left toes engaged. Pressing hands in towards each other for balance. Or if you'd like, you can sweep those hands tall for full staff pose. Enjoy the wiggle wobbles. Stay here. Don't rush it. Don't anticipate what's next. Feel this moment. Feel every sensation in your body for 3. Pull those toes back for 2. Maybe smile for 1. And then gently release hands through heart center. Give yourself a little wiggle wobble. And then sweep those hands tall, mountain pose. Open up through that heart space. Cactus those arms. Inhale, sweep those hands tall. Exhale, big movement, swan dive it. Find that forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Inhale, press into your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down towards the earth. Step it back into our plank pose. Find that connection. Just like mountain pose, but now we're using the earth here. Press the sensation of gravity away. Puff up through the back of the heart space. Engage your quads. And then as you exhale, all the way to belly. Elbows graze those ribs. Tops of your toes press in once you're there. Feel the connection with the earth. Stay here. Stay present. Stay now. Inhale, heart pulls up. Exhale, release. Inhale, breath. Press it up. Plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. We've got 3 to 5 breaths here. So if any other rejuvenating posture sounds good to you, tabletop, maybe child's pose, seated on knees, this is your time to check back in. Down dog is the recommended posture, but whatever you need, we're just finding connection here. We're allowing our heart rate to come back to neutral. We're allowing our breath to be the anchor. We're enjoying the heat. We're enjoying the sensation. But again, we're right here. We're right now. Find that connection. One more big breath here, neutralizing everything, sending your inhale to whatever sensation you need. And then on your exhale, if you're not there already, meet me in a tabletop posture. Now from this sensation, recognize where our low spine is. We're not dumping into our low spine. We're keeping our core nice and engaged. Flat spine. We're feeling the sensation in our shoulders. We're reaching tall through the crown of our head. Now just remember this as we change our orientation. Go ahead, sweep those feet around. We're coming into our feet first and foremost. Now find that sensation in our core. We're gonna sit it tall. We feel that connection. And then as we exhale, we're making our way onto our backs. Now here's that change in orientation. We're gonna find a recline tabletop. So shins are gonna come up parallel with the sky. So just like we were before, keeping that core nice and engaged. And what that will feel like is we're pressing our low spine down into the earth. We've got one line of energy. Crown is energetically reaching tall. Hands can be out in front of you. My recommendation is for them to come to the tops of our knees. So already here, even with just a gentle pressure on the tops of our knees, you feel that low belly kick in. Now you can stay here, just pressing knees into hands, hands into knees. This is a lot of heat. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of energy. This is our core work. You're perfect. If you would like to up level it a little bit, if you have energy to give, if to stay in this moment, you need a little bit more, inhale, let that right leg release, right hand release. Exhale, come back through neutral. Inhale, left hand release, left leg release. Exhale, neutral. Keep it going. You're either holding still, you're staying here, or you're finding some nice gentle release. Get some coaching from your furry friend if you have the availability. Inhale, keep it going. Keep that low spine pressed down into the earth. Really connecting, feel that core kick in. We're working our entire core girdle. We're working low spine. We're working our obliques. We're working our low belly. We're finding this connection. But most importantly, we're staying right here, right now. We're breathing. Whew, we're heating up. We're moving. We've got 2 more each side. Last 2. 1 more, we got it. All right, press those knees into hands, hands into knees, and then drop those feet to the earth. Let your feet go as wide as the mat. Knees can knock in towards each other for constructive rest. Or if the movement is calling to you, you can take some nice, slow, easy windshield wipers with those knees. Both are perfect. Both are totally allowable. Whatever it is that your body is craving. Stillness, movement. This is your time to just, again, return back to a little bit of lunar after that solar. And then once you're balanced, heel toe those feet back in towards neutral. Inhale those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Maybe a little low back massage. Just did a lot of work. Feel those quads pressing into your belly. A nice little low belly massage. And then as you feel ready, begin to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine. First arriving in a tall seat. Feel that crown reach tall. And then sweep those legs around to the side. Yogi's choice here. You can either travel through Cobra or just arrive back into a down dog. If you need some energy, go ahead, let those hips lift high, find your down dog. Or if you feel some movement, you can exhale, come to belly. Tops your toes, press in. Inhale, pull that heart up and through. Nice belly massage. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it high. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Now feel how this down dog is a totally different sensation, totally different story, totally different experience than the one we were at the beginning of class. So again, that is our history. That has led to this moment. It's important, but it's not right here, right now. It's not this moment. It's also not in the future. So just find this energy, find the sensation, anchoring right here, right now. Give yourself one big full breath. Breathe into any point of sensation, and then exhale, stay here. And don't travel into the future, don't travel off your mat. On your inhale breath, let that right leg lift high to the sky. Reach it tall, energizing through that entire right hand side. As you exhale, take your time, curl that knee into belly, knee into chest. This time we're looking right in between our thumbs. Find that center line, step it through. And then back heel gets heavy, melting it down towards the earth, just like we did in the opening. Inhale breath, cartwheel it up. And then as you exhale, we're going to sit it low into our warrior two. We're finding some strength here now. So we found heat, we found movement, we found connection. Now let's find our strength. A lot of times in these longer holds, these longer postures, our mind tries to distract us. We try and remove ourselves from this posture. We wiggle wobble. We find any little distraction we can. Try and stay right here. Try and stay in this moment. Reaching as we inhale, expanding in space. As we exhale, find that nice low lunge. On your inhale breath, flip your front palm, straighten through that front leg. Little relief as you reach tall through that right hand. Reverse triangle. Legs are in a triangle. We're finding energy through that right hand side. And then as you exhale, let those hands come out to a T. Heel toe that back foot in a little bit. Wiggle your hips. And then exhale. Lead with your fingertips first. Reach, reach, reach. Once you can't reach anymore, hands can tick-tock to 6 and 12 o'clock. Opportunity for a jar or a yoga block underneath your fingers if you need, or you can just press the back of your hands into your shins. Big thing here is we're not sinking into our right hand side. We're staying nice and lifted, nice and energized, anchoring right here, right now. Give yourself a couple breaths. As you inhale, your crown is reaching forward. Your fingertips are reaching up and down. Feet are anchored into the earth. One more big breath. Use that exhale. Maybe open up through that heart space a little bit. On your inhale breath, let that top hand pull you tall all the way up into our 5-pointed star. Toes are going to pigeon toe in towards each other. And then as you exhale, we're going to swan dive it. Find that nice wide-legged forward fold. Permission to find your jars or blocks underneath your hands, especially for a little bit of a shoulder opener. Or you can just let your crown fall nice and heavy. Big sensation. This is a lunar posture in theory, but a lot of times we have a lot of sensation on the back sides of our legs, maybe inner thighs, maybe in our low spine, maybe through your neck or through your crown. Also, if this is a comfortable position for you, sometimes it's an opportunity to wander. So try and stay here. Try and stay now. On this last breath, we're going to walk our hands forward, either with our fingertips or our blocks, and come onto our tented fingertips, giving ourselves a little bit more of a rounded sensation, opening up a little bit more sensation in our shoulders. One more big breath here, sending it to wherever your sensation is. Use your exhale, maybe send your booty a little bit further back. Inhale, come back underneath shoulders, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, we're going to walk it forward. We're going to pop that back heel up. So let your stance adjust as much as you need to, a little bit wider stance for balance. Stay low in that front knee, and then inhale. Breathe it tall, coming into our crescent lunge. We're not here for long. We're moving, we're breathing. But plug that right hip back in space, left hip tracks forward. Fingertips reach tall, low front lunge, big inhale breath. And then as you exhale, press into those left toes, fingertips reach back in space, airplane variation. We got 2 more breaths like this. Inhale, reach it tall, sweep it up. Exhale, airplane variation. Squeeze those shoulder blades on the back side of the body, just like we did in opening with a single fist. Now we're using our muscles. Inhale, reach it tall. One more. Exhale, airplane variation. Inhale, reach it tall, crescent lunge. Stay here, don't escape it. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step it back, plank pose. Feel that control, feel the power. Puff up through the back of the heart space. Exhale, breath coming all the way to belly. Through plank or tabletop, tops your toes press in. Inhale, breath, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. Inhale, breath. Let your hips travel high and back, downward facing dog. Couple reset breaths here. Stay here. Find this connection. Find this power. Find this ease. Find this control. As you exhale, soften through something. On our inhale breath, left leg is going to reach high to the sky. Reach it tall, expand through that left side body. Feel that power shooting out through those left toes. Now take your time. Exhale. Knee to belly. Knee to chest. We're looking right in between our thumbs. Gently step it through. You can use your hand to get there if you need to. Back heel drops down. Inhale, breath, cartwheel it up. And then sit it low as you exhale. Second side, warrior two. Really glue that back knife edge of our right foot down into the earth. Use your exhales to sit it low. Find that edge. And now as you inhale, we're expanding. As we exhale, we're strengthening. We're staying here for a little bit, building strength, building sensation, but also building that focus. We're not escaping. We're not thinking about what's next. We're not thinking, oh man, my leg is shaking. We're enjoying it. We're staying in this moment. We're finding the power, finding this ease. One more big breath here. Expand through everything. As you exhale, anchor through everything. Next inhale breath, flip that front palm, straighten through that front leg. Reach it back, reach, reach, reach. Finding that nice open sensation, that nice relief through that left side body. Now feel this open sensation. We're not going to ruin that. As you exhale, come into a T, heel toe those back feet in a little bit. And then as you exhale, we're using that space. We're reaching, we're reaching, we're reaching. And then hands come to 6 and 12. So you can, again, find a block or a jar underneath those hands, or you can press the back of the hand into the shin. We're not going to sink. We're not going to melt into this left-hand side. We're staying nice and engaged, full of strength, full of focus, full of power of the here and now. As you inhale, you feel your crown reaching a little bit further forward. As you exhale, you open up through that heart space. Find one more big breath. Again, as you exhale, maybe a nice little gentle high five. And then on your inhale, let that right hand pull you tall, 5-pointed star. Yet again, toes are going to pigeon toe in. Reach it tall. And then as you exhale, find that nice wide-legged forward fold. Once you're here, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Find the connection, that power, that ease. Whichever variation you're taking, send those breaths, that sensation, that presence, that intention to where needs it. Maybe it's hamstrings, maybe it's inner thighs, low back, mid back, neck. Maybe it's our mind trying to escape. Wherever it is, take one more big breath here in traditional wide-legged forward fold. And then just for a breath, walk tented fingertips forward. And as you exhale, melt into those shoulders, giving us a little bit more of an open sensation. Give yourself a couple breaths here. Use your exhale to find some ease. On your next inhale, walk those hands back underneath shoulders. Find a wide-legged halfway lift, straight spine, crown is reaching forward. And then as you exhale, walk it towards the front of your mat. Adjust your stance a little bit wider. Back heel pops up. We're using our toes for balance here. Already plugging in those right toes. And then on an inhale breath, sweep those hands up and around. And then sit it low, crescent lunge. So again, we're only here for a moment. We're going to breathe and move, but plug that left hip back in space. Right hip is going to knock forward. Breathe those fingertips tall. And then exhale, let those hands sweep up and around. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, airplane variation. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Find this connection. We got one more. Scoop all that energy high. Exhale, use those right toes as balance as you reach those fingertips back. Feel the power. Crown reaches forward, fingertips reach back. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale, release it into our crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. With control, with ease, come all the way to belly. Tops of your toes press in, anchoring us to right here, right now. Activate through those quads. Inhale, breath, pull that heart up and through. Exhale, release. Inhale, breath, pressing it up into our downward facing dog. This is another little lunar pause. We've got 5 breaths here. So if a tabletop or down dog is calling to you, permission to find that here. Again, down dog is the recommended posture, but wherever you need to go to return back to ease, back to neutrality, back to this present moment, find the posture you need as we move into the portion where we put this all together. We find the ease, we find the presence, we find breath, we find body, and we just enjoy every moment, every second of the remainder of class so we can find the enjoyment in all the remaining moments. If you're not there already, meet me in a down dog. Inhale, breath, let that right leg lift high to the sky. Breath to body movement, you know where we're going, try and stay with me. Exhale, knee to belly, knee to chest. Looking at that space right between our hands, gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. Exhale, warrior 2. One breath here. Inhale, expand through everything. Reach tall, reach out, reach in space. Exhale, find the strength, settle in. Flip that front palm. Inhale, breath, reverse triangle, straighten through that front leg. Exhale, tee out those arms, heel toe that back foot in. Inhale, find that space, reach out. And then as you exhale, reach, reach, reach. Once you can't go anymore, tick-tock those hands to 6 and 12. Big inhale, breath. Inhale, puff through that chest. Stay for your exhale, little baby back bend. Inhale, breath, that top hand pulls you tall. 5 pointed star, toes knock in towards each other. Exhale, breath, swan dive it. Forward fold, let your head get automatically heavy. Inhale, walk those fingertips forward, tented fingertips. Exhale, melt into that shoulder release. Inhale, come back through midline, halfway lift, wide-legged halfway lift, crown reaches forward. Little change coming up here. As you exhale, walk towards the front of the mat, pop that back toe up, find that nice strong stance, getting ready for our crescent lunge. We're gonna find airplane flow and then opportunity for full airplane if you are feeling it. Inhale, sweep those hands tall, reach it tall, sit it low in that crescent lunge, pull those right hips back, left hip forward. We've got 2 airplane variations and then full airplane if it's calling to you. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, sweep it back, feel the strength. Crown reaches forward, fingertips reach back. Inhale, sweep it tall. Exhale, airplane variation. Here's your change. If you would like, inhale, sweep it tall, crescent lunge. You can launch with this breath and hold on. Airplane variation or full airplane. We're here for 3. Let those left hips knock down for 2. Stay here. Don't escape. Don't release for 1. Soft landing. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Little change here as well. Step it back, plank pose. Drop those knees wide. Send those hips back. We've got 2 to 3 breaths of child's pose. Allowing yourself to release from that balance, from that intense posture. As we move into our second side, take a moment here, anchor it in. Feel the heat, feel that sensation, feel the moment. Next inhale, breath. Make your way into our tabletop. Curl your toes under. Let those hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Reset breath here again, breath to body. We're bringing all of everything we've worked for up into our final posture of that full airplane and enjoying it. But again, that's the future and the past. Just find your sensation right here, your breath right now. Inhale into what needs it. Use that exhale to soften. Inhale, that left leg reaches tall. Reach it towards the sky. Exhale, knee to belly. Knee to chest. We're looking at that space right between our thumbs. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, warrior two. Stay for a breath. Inhale, fill up in space. Reach out, crown tall, fingertips out, toes down. Exhale, strengthen. Find those inner thighs, find those shoulders, find that depth. Inhale, breath, flip that front palm, straighten through that front leg, opening up with ease. Feel that expansion. Exhale, tee out those arms, heel toe that back foot in slightly. Inhale, reach out in space, expand through everything. And then exhale, reach, reach, reach as far as you can go. And then hands to 6 and 12. Using your inhale to expand. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, that top hand pulls you tall. 5-pointed star, pigeon toes those toes in. Exhale, swan dive it. Find that forward fold. Automatically let your head get heavy. Inhale, breath. Walk those tented fingertips forward as far as they can go. Exhale, melt through that heart space. Inhale, hands come back underneath your shoulders. Wide-legged halfway lift. Feel the space through the crown of your head. And then exhale, walk it towards the top of your mat. Pop that back heel up, heel toe your feet out into our wider stance. Airplane flow followed by full airplane. Your choice, your practice, what sounds good to you. Inhale, breath, sweep those hands tall. Exhale, sit it low. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades. Fingertips reach back, crown reaches forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Crescent lunge. Stay low in that front leg. Exhale, airplane variation. Option 3 for a longer hold, airplane variation. Inhale, sweep those hands tall, or full airplane, your choice. Here we go. Exhale, lean it forward, full airplane or airplane variation. Knock those right hips down, plug those left hips in. We're here for 3. Crown reaches forward, feel longer in space. Take up space, stay here for 2. Enjoy this moment. Smile it out for 1. Soft landing on your inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, breath. Hands come down to the mat. Step it back into plank pose. Knees fall wide, toes together. Press it back, child pose. Take a moment here, 3 to 5 breaths. You can let your hands stay out in space. They can come back and drape along the side of your body, if that feels good. Or you can find a mudra, hand posture, with your hands reaching back behind your head or stacked underneath your forehead, whichever variation feels best for you. To soak it up, to stay here in this present moment. Again, the past, the memories, they're all things we can reflect upon. We can enjoy all this heat, this movement, this breath, this body that we have cultivated. And how good it's going to feel to have all that energy cultivated in the future. But most importantly, check in right here, right now. Feel your forehead pressing against whatever's below it. Feeling gravity take over. Knees and shins pressing into the earth, toes finding that connection. Heart is melting in, shoulders are releasing. Whatever it is, giving yourself this permission, this movement, this moment to just be in the present. No anticipation, no recollection, just right here, right now. On your next inhale breath, Gently press up, making your way into a tabletop posture. Opportunity to be flashy, opportunity to find whatever movements you need to release, to find comfort, to find ease. Stillness is also an opportunity, a promise. And then either curl over those ankles or sweep them out to the side, making our way into a comfortable seat. Let that crown reach nice and tall towards the sky. Find that space in the vertebrae as we exhale, melting down onto our backs. Once you're there, let your toes reach out long, fingertips reach up overhead. Big deep breath. Let that right knee come up in space. Left leg stays nice and heavy. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Feel that quad pressing into that low belly, giving yourself a nice little massage here. Nice tight grip underneath your knee. And then move it out of the way of your ribs, pulling it up and in towards that right armpit. Different massage, different sensation, different stretch. And then as you exhale, let that left hand guide that right knee over towards the left. Gaze goes towards the right. Right hand can reach out into a T, maybe into a goalpost. Just keep both shoulders heavy on the mat, even if that means coming out of your twist slightly. And staying here, staying present. Let gravity take over. Let the space be what you need. Counting your breaths, feeling those points resting on the earth, whatever it is. But breathing into this twist, not forcing into it. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently come back through midline. Give that right knee one more squeeze to itself. And swap it out with the left. Right leg gets nice and heavy. Let it fall towards the earth. Inhale that left knee up and in. Basket grip underneath the knee, maybe different thumb on top. Let it feel a little funky. Feel that nice low belly massage. Quad is pressing in to the belly, belly into the quad. Now move it out of the way of your rib cage, pulling it up and in towards those left armpits. Squeezing in, finding that nice tight compression. And then on an exhale breath, let that right hand guide that knee over towards the right. Left hand can come out to a T, maybe out to a goalpost, and gaze goes towards that left thumb. Again, both shoulders are heavy on the mat. We're not twisting so far that our shoulders pop up. And just let yourself find the breath. Sending your inhales towards points of sensation. Letting your exhales find ease. Gaze goes soft, maybe even eyes closed. Just breath and gravity. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently come back through midline, pulling that left knee into space. Now let that right knee come up to meet left, giving it a tight, tight squeeze here. Finding that same low belly massage now with both legs, and scrunch your toes. Activate through your feet, your calves, your shins. Feel your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes engaged. Now find a nice tight grip on those knees, gripping those hands, forearms, biceps, triceps involved. Feel that low spine pressing into the earth the same amount where those shoulders are activated. Get your chest involved. Now bring your face up off the mat to activate through your neck and scrunch your face like you just bit into something beautiful and sour. Every muscle in your body is activated. And then as you exhale, let it go. Legs fall out wide. Hands fall away from your body in space. Letting yourself release through every muscle. Toes, feet, shins, and calves are all heavy. Quads and Hamstrings, glutes, and belly are all soft. Low spine, belly, chest, and back are just receiving breath and softening with your exhales. Let your hands release in space. Forearms, biceps, triceps just melting onto the earth. Shoulders release. Neck is soft. Tongue falls from the roof of your mouth as your jaw releases. And then finally, that space right in between your eyebrows, that third eye center, lets you float off into Shavasana. Gently begin to bring your awareness back into this moment, into this presence, into this now. Feel the sensation of this moment by wiggling your toes, tickling your fingers with your thumbs, and finding some nice, soft, gentle movements in your body. Once your awareness has fully arrived back into your mind, let your fingertips reach up overhead as your toes reach forward, finding a nice, big, deep belly breath. From this space, recognize right hand or left hand side, whichever side is calling to you. Let your knees pull up towards chest and use that bicep as a pillow as you roll onto your side. Taking a moment here to really feel it in. Feel this moment, feel this presence, feel the sensation of here and now. Keeping your eyes closed or gaze soft, gently press up into a comfortable seated position towards the top of your mat. Once you're there, bring hands together at heart center, press palms in towards chest, and drop your chin towards chest. First and foremost, thanking self for being present in this moment, being here, being now throughout this entire practice. And then on an inhale, bring those hands together up in between your eyebrows at that third eye center. Lift the chin slightly in a sign of appreciation of the energy and effort we were able to share today. Please know, the inner teacher and light within me so appreciates and so recognizes the inner teacher and light within each of you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste.
Hi there, everyone. This is After Class Jackie popping in with just a friendly reminder that if you enjoyed today's class, please consider subscribing. And when you click that bell notification, you'll be the first to know whenever there's a new class or series that is uploaded. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, pop them into the chat down below. I would love to hear them and work on new content for you all. And as always, the inner teacher and light within me so recognizes and so appreciates the inner teacher and light within each of you. Namaste.